right, we will call this meeting to order. This is a special board meeting of West Bend Joint School District Number 1. It is October 17th, 2023, just after 4:15 p.m. So this is a public meeting of the School Board of West Bend Joint School District Number 1, and more than 24 hours prior to the meeting, notice of the time, place, date, and subject matter of this meeting was posted at the entrance doors at the Education Service Center and at the West Bend Community Memorial Library. A copy was also sent to the Daily News, WIBD, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, and other media sources that have requested notice of our meetings. I'll pause to ask Superintendent Wimmer to confirm that this meeting was properly posted.
Yes, it was.
Great, thank you. Let's please rise and join us in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We recognize a quorum of our board with 6 members present in the room, and Dr. Chad Temez is participating via telephone, and so we will be doing all votes by roll call vote. So with that, we have the agenda in front of us to approve. We have a number of action items to take up today related to compensation. I would move to approve this agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you very much, Kurt. Motion and second to approve the agenda. Any final discussion? Hearing none, I will call the roll. Mr. Weichert votes yes. Ms. Aragot?
Yes.
Dr. Temez?
Yes.
He voted yes. Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. Donaldson?
Yes.
Mr. Repholz?
Yes.
And Ms. Kruger?
Yes.
Excellent. We have an approved agenda. So with that, we'll move to our first action item. And Mr. Lenny Hansen is here to walk us through it. Declaration of an impasse in certified staff collective bargaining negotiations process. Please take it away.
Thank you. Each year, the district engages in collective bargaining negotiations with the WBEA, which is the bargaining unit for in our district. That is over base wages that we engage in those negotiations over. This year, we had 5 different negotiation sessions that took place, combined many hours of work together. By the end of those negotiations, we had not reached an agreement, and it was therefore determined to declare an impasse. So the first step in moving forward with awarding annual pay raises to certified staff, teaching staff, is if we can't reach that agreement, to first declare an impasse. And then from there, then we're able to take action to impose the proposal that the district has as far as what those compensation increases would be. All of this is governed by state statute. So over many years, that's combined together to form kind of the framework that we operate under. And this is same framework that we would have operated under the past several years. So first course of action is to declare that impasse, and then that would allow us to move forward to the following action steps.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Hansen? Hearing none, I would move to declare an impasse with the WBEA and the Certified Staff Collective Bargaining Negotiations process. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion and second, Melanie, for declaring impasse with the WBEA. Any final discussion? Hearing none, I will call the roll. Mr. Donaldson?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Ms. Kruger?
Yes.
Mr. Repholz?
Yes.
Mr. Zweigert votes yes. Ms. Aragot?
Yes.
And Dr. Temez?
Yes.
Thank you. That motion passes. Next, unilateral imposition of the district's certified staff compensation plan for 2023-2024.
Upon an impasse being declared, the district can impose its offer to certified staff. This applies to all teaching staff, regardless of if they're a member of the bargaining unit or not. That proposal is attached as presented there. We believe that this proposal brings forth a pay raise opportunity for our staff that does exceed the average of what you're seeing throughout the region. We think it's an offer that will continue to support our recruitment and retention efforts.
Any questions for Mr. Hansen?
I just have a couple comments. As Lonnie said, this is one of the it is a larger in the area pay raise, It was budgeted for, it's been budgeted for a long time, being a fiscal conservative district. This is a significant pay raise. I just want to make a comment to that because this is going to be one of the largest pay raises teachers on average have gotten ever in the district. We're trying to keep up with inflation. We notice the tough fiscal times, but I hope in good faith, this is, again, I'm going to be voting for this large raise to recognize the great staff we have here and the retention we want to have going forward, and I'm proud to support it.
Thank you.
Other questions? All right. Hearing none, I would make a motion to unilaterally impose the district's certified staff compensation plan for 2023-2024 as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, John. Motion and second to unilaterally impose the district's certified staff compensation plan. Any final discussion? Hearing none, I will call the roll. Mr. Repholz.
Yes.
Mr. Swigert votes yes. Dr. Temez.
Yes.
Ms. Lang.
Yes.
Ms. Aragot.
Yes.
Mr. Donaldson.
Yes.
And Ms. Kruger.
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you. We move then to 2023-2024 staff compensation.
Thank you. Other components of our compensation model for certified staff, some of which were you took action on in August around expertise pay stipends for things like additional licensures and so forth. Some of the other components that are also important are, for example, our novice salary scale, which determines the salary for someone in their first 5 years of experience in the profession. As was alluded to earlier, the pressures around recruitment, retention, they require us to keep up with where those starting salaries need to be. So a new novice salary scale is proposed that would be implemented retroactively, just as all of the other compensation increases are proposed. And they really get at those individuals that are in those first 5 years of experience. And then the district takes action to ensure that increases to that floor do not result in someone with more experience being passed or equaled by someone else. So we make sure that we continue to honor the experience of our staff while also raising that floor. You'll also see there the supplemental work pay rates sheet, which really is a summary of the many different additional duties that staff members might fulfill throughout the year. We look at these things annually. They include things like the pay for doing curriculum development work, some work that takes place in the summer, as well as a host of other things. Along with the inflationary conversation earlier, this ties in because it's important for us to make adjustments along the way year by year so that those rates also don't fall behind. So you'll see that list, which we've used for many years and continue to make adjustments year to year. That is also presented.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Hansen? I'll just make a comment, I think similar to Kurt's. I really like the way that this has advanced it. Again, it's that balance between we need to remain within budgetary constraints but remain competitive as well. I think the administration's put a lot of thought into this. I'm supportive of this. I'll just make that comment. But with that, other thoughts, comments, questions? Hearing none, I would move to approve the 2023-2024 novice salary scale and supplemental work pay rate sheet as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kurt. Motion and second to approve the 23-24 novice salary scale and supplemental work pay rate sheet. Any final discussion? Hearing none, I will call the roll. Mr. Repholz.
Yes.
Ms. Kruger.
Yes.
Mr. Swigert votes yes. Ms. Lang.
Yes.
Mr. Donaldson.
Yes.
Ms. Aragot.
Yes.
And Dr. Temez.
Yes.
Great, thank you. That motion carries. We move to our final action item, which is the 2023-2024 administrator compensation.
As in past years, we bring administrator compensation last amongst all groups. Administrator pay raises are allocated in a manner similar to how we allocate for certified staff, in that they're flat dollar amounts, as you'll see in the proposal. And those also would go into effect retroactively to July 1st. And to echo the comments that have already been made, again, also in the budget, as well as also considering the recruitment and retention of our administrators, and in keeping in light those inflationary pressures. All of the same factors apply to all of our groups: support staff, certified staff, and administrators. So this is kind of the final piece of our compensation puzzle for the current year.
Great. Questions or comments for Mr. Hanson? Kurt?
Yeah, maybe one or two maybe final comments. Last but not least, like you said, and some of them are in the room, thank you for your service. And again, we're delivering a balanced budget while giving a solid administrator raise as well. And I think this is the best administrator group we have had in my tenure on the board, just working with great administrators. So thank you to the superintendent, Lenny, Andy, all the other administrators in the room for promoting solid leadership and really working as a whole team, staff, students, and community. So proud to promote and say yes to this raise as well.
Thank you, Kurt. Other
you.
questions, comments? Hearing none, I would move to approve the 2023-2024 administrator pay increases proposal as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kelly. Motion and second to approve the 23-24 administrator pay raises proposal. Final discussion. Hearing none, I will call the roll. Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Ms. Aragot? Mr. Rebholz? Mr. Donaldson?
Yes.
Mr. Swigert votes yes. Dr. Temez?
Yes.
And Ms. Kruger?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you. Mr. Hanson, thank you for presenting these topics. We have reached the end of our planned agenda, and so I would make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, June. Motion and second to adjourn. Any final discussion? Hearing none, I will call the roll. Ms. Aragot?
Yes.
Mr. Rebholz? Mr. Swigert votes yes. Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Dr. Temez?
Yes.
And Mr. Donaldson? And Ms. Kruger?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone, for attending this special meeting.